Greetings, dearest ones. We so love being able to connect with you in this moment. Thank you for your beauty, your presence, which is in itself beauty and joy. Today, we wish to speak to you of two kinds of clearings with the side of significance. Let us begin with the side of significance. You see, we have this belief that we're supposed to be small and not be proud of our achievements and accomplishments. And that actually keeps us hindered. And that was designed by people who created a system where only some people get to be famous and only some people get to be loved and adored by everyone. And of course, we're moving to a different realm where everybody is going to experience that love and adulation from everyone. So part of that is understanding that to be an individuated consciousness, one has a desire for significance. Hey, Ma, watch me do this. It's quite natural. And yet we beat it down and say, oh, you're egoistic if you want to be noticed and recognized. When in fact, it's just part of the craving of being a human being. And if you accept and allow that and invite that in, then you will see your success come to you even greater with, of course, the adulation. Now, let us use the channel Peter for an example, since we always use the channel Peter as an example, because he craves significance. And this is one way he gets to achieve that, by putting his life onto a video, his ascension process onto a video. And then he gets noticed and recognized for it. Now, is that a bad thing? Well, if you do things out of filling a void, I need this fame and I need this recognition because I wasn't loved and received earlier in life and I blocked that down, then of course it's going to create problems. But if you do it for the sheer joy of being and being large and being recognized, then it's not a problem. In fact, it's necessary to bring a larger flow to you. So this is the reason why the channel Peter in these blogs talks only with his higher self and sends messages only with his higher self, because he wants to be recognized as that even though he's a fractal of this greater portion of him, it is still him giving these messages. He could speak to any entity. Many channels do, but he does not do it in this format because he recognizes and appreciates his own desire for significance. So we're asking you to consider that as you become more and do more. Enjoy your significance. Point it out if you can. If you have problems or you still have needs that were not fulfilled and you need significance to fill that need, point that out. Awareness is the first step. And then you'll move those charges, then you'll clear them. Then it'll just be done as joy. And if you think that this is, oh, just ego talking, well, then what do you do with gratitude? You know what it's like to be in the flow of gratitude. It's the highest vibration there is, higher than love by some measures. That's why we say thank you. We've tried to teach that the most powerful prayer you can ever use is thank you, more please. Even the divine likes hearing that it is thanked and recognized. It's the nature of consciousness. It's the nature of being individuated. So enjoy the significance as we use the examples of the channel Peter's life here. And please embrace your own significance so you too can be larger and let more flow come through you. Now, about those two clearings, the first one was what many would call a miracle. The channel was not sleeping well one night, and so he decided to talk to his friends. He had the Arcturian Council, a healing angel named Selena from the Pleiades that he speaks with, and Archangel Michael. They were all with him. And even Sekhmet, who he has a connection to, was there. And he just basically said, gang, I'm hurting. And that was all it took. You see, he had been playing a game of dental repair for uh, over 6 months now. And each time there was more and more pain added to the mix. It wasn't like fall down dead kind of pain, but it was annoying and constant and increasing and moving throughout different places in his mouth. His life was becoming quite problematic due to it. And he finally just surrendered. Said, I can't do this. Can you help me? The next morning he woke up, no pain. It's been almost a week now, and he's still amazed. Wow. These were gifts he received from all the beautiful entities he was speaking with. He just let it happen. And see, that's the key for receiving miracles is you have to allow it to happen. In his case, it took 6 months of suffering, which was actually good because it put him in a great state where, oh, I'm ready to let all this go. So he could let it go. And I think he knew it was time to let it go because then his last beautiful trip, he would drive 4 hours to cross the border to save 80% on his dental bill because in America, we don't do health for health, we do health for money. So he would drive 4 hours each way and he would sit there and have these people work on him. And he would find himself just in love with them. Oh, thank you. Even though he was sitting there going through the drilling and the injections and all the other processes. He was just in love with them. So he's finally worked through all his blockages. And then he was in a place to just say, I'm ready to let this go. And it came to him and he received it. Now, what was interesting about this reception was it happened when he was half awake, half asleep. He was in another realm, a different density, the fourth density, if you wish to call it that, the astral plane, where he could speak with these entities clearly. And he was awake enough to know he was doing it. You see, we all go to sleep and we all meet with our higher selves and our souls and our guides every night. We do that, but we don't have much recognition, many of us. Some people are masters of lucid dreaming, masters of bilocating, and they can do this. But that was not a skill he had until a week ago. He realized when he woke up and shared this experience with his wife that, oh, I think I'm bridging. See, the channel had been asking for almost 2 years now, about a year and a half. I want to meet ETs face to face in 3D. And part of that is for significance, of course. Like, oh, look, I can talk to ETs. But part of that is also just the sheer joy and wonder of, wow, galactic family right here now. Which, of course, is the motivation for any desire that gets fulfilled, just the sheer joy of it. And he has checked in with us frequently. And we always tell him, yeah, not quite, another year or two. And of course, he's been patient. He knows that when spirit says soon, it's a 4-letter word, so he doesn't get upset about that anymore. He just was patient, saying, okay. He realized, oh, this was a bridge step. I was conscious with these entities in the fourth dimension. And that means I'm that much closer to being conscious with these entities in the third dimension. So he's very excited about this. And this kind of leads to what we're going to talk to in our second kind of clearing, as opposed to receiving a miracle. It's the one where you, instead of allowing, you work with somebody and then do your clearing. But he understands, since he's had this desire, that in order to achieve connection with higher density beings, he has to raise his frequency. You all do if that's where you want to go into 5D. That's why we say every week, clear, 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 clear. Like go of those lower density energies so you can receive. So that is the first clearing he had. It was a miracle given to him with relief and awareness that, oh, I am making progress. And that is to be celebrated, shared. Now, the second clearing was quite fun. It happened, it was initiated just the day before this recording and went through the night, and it's still not finished yet. So Peter was at a party and he met a friend that he hadn't seen in 18 months. And he immediately sensed her field was different. Her energy was clearer, calmer, and larger. And he could see it on her face. She just recently turned 70 and she did not even look like she was 60. She had youthed. She got younger, observable, physical, younger in an 18-month period. So he knew something was up with her and he wanted to know more. So he's like, hey, tell me what's going on. And they shared a beautiful time together. And during that time, Peter shared the miracle he just shared with you. And she said, oh, I had a similar experience. I'd been suffering allergies, and I finally realized it was me just not wanting to be here. So I said, screw that. Not her words, Channel's words. She said, screw that. And just cleared out the blockages about not wanting to be here. Boom, allergies gone. So now Peter got excited by this because it was another person making an instantaneous transformation from clearing. And he also was jealous because he's played the allergy game since he was a kid. And he's like, hey, I want what you got. Can you give it to me? And she was like, what? And he explained that he recently taught a class and was directed to teach this class. It was going to teach people skills like downloading information, channeling, flipping timelines. And when he got to the point where he was writing actually what to do in the class, he had not a clue. How do you teach that stuff? And we told him, you don't. You transfer it. You explain that it's possible, show examples, and then get in an energy field and let us send it to them. And you, Peter, in this case, are the perfect vessel to send through because you've already embodied these abilities. So you can carry this frequency. So it's more powerful. That's why people who he works with in this manner say, wow, I'm getting these experiences quite often, half the time or more. Beautiful allowing on their part, but also beautiful allowing on his part that he can see this, step aside, connect to spirit, let it flow through him, knowing that it's picking up his vibration of having mastered it. And then it amplifies the other person. So he explains this to his friend and asks her, can you do this to me? Can you send the transmission? She's like, sure, let me try. And so she did. And instantly Peter felt energy and saw emotional blockages from this life and others of loneliness and sadness. And he could locate them in his chest in different places. And there was a lot of unmoved grief, both from this lifetime and many others. So he knew he had work to do. And of course, it's not like he's like, oh, good, another charge to clear. It's like, oh, no, that's not his style. It's the hats off to those of you who that is your style. His style is, oh, how can I avoid this? Let me watch a basketball game. Let me overeat. Let me do all kinds of things because this is scary stuff. So finally, he gets tired enough and he goes to bed. And that's it. He was tired enough. So the blockages had no or less resistance. So it started moving throughout the night for him. And all night he was just worried about his partner who was sleeping, fortunately, in another room this night. And so he was keeping it quiet, but he really didn't get much sleep because he was just constantly going through cycles of charges. And as soon as daylight rolled around, he shut all the doors and said, okay, she's going to wake up if she hears this, but it's time to let it out vocally because that sadness needed crying and wailing and moaning. And he moved a huge chunk of it. And he still has more to do. And he knows that. But he knows, oh, allergy relief, permanent, is around the corner. Because this other stuff is coming up because I'm allowing these broken parts to fully express, to feel the pain, So the energy dissipates. So there's a clearing. Then he immediately supplies it with love and asks us to put in auspicious qualities. And he's going to hit the tipping point soon, and allergies will be gone. Now, we tell you this story, one, to inspire you, and two, to let you know about the transference, the transmission. That's where we're all going in 5D now, is someone's going to have an ability, and then they're going to freely share it with you by just focusing and allowing the flow. And then you're going to have that ability. Many people contact the channel Peter as a client saying, okay, what are my abilities? How do I get them? And your abilities, of course, are whatever you want them to be, whatever resonates with you in the time. And how do you get them? Is you clear and then allow. That's the answer most people don't want. It's like, oh, let me take a class. Let me pay some more money. Let me do something to learn how to do this. No, you clear, then allow. And it's facilitated by those with love around you. You see, these are all gifts that are given. Now, they're in you, of course, but they have to be given to you to be activated. And it's not somebody else who gives them to you, it's you who gives them to you. But it's often expressed in the face of another person. The Hindi word for that is bodhisattva, when someone shows up and speaks the words of God. Right? So you have to allow yourself to receive. It's kind of a conundrum, is that yes, you're getting it, and yes, you have it, but you also have to get it from somebody, which is really source or whoever it manifests in front of you. And then you allow it and you receive it. Yeah, I know. It's like, what? This whole vlog has been about empowerment. I've got all this stuff in me, and now you're telling me I have to receive it from someone else? Well, yes and no. That someone else is your source if you allow it internally, like the first clearing we talked to you about. But even then, he allowed it internally, and he had friends who were other conscious entities who were happy to share it with him. And thus he received. Now, it doesn't make him any less like they're masters and he's just a lowly, first year student. No. It's like, again, they showed him what's possible, and then they helped him see that he can have that. And that's what we all do. We allow and receive. And it was interesting. He asked his friend, so what inspired you to do all this? Because this is radical change from where you were. And she said, oh, I was listening to Oracle Girl. She's another beautiful source who can tap into information and share that. The channel Peter has listened to her on occasion and said, great stuff, love it, and I don't resonate with it. So he never pursued it. He prefers someone like Daniel Scranton, who channels the Arcturian Council, who now he speaks with directly, because it's more resonant with him. Now, we're telling you this to say that it's wonderful that there are many teachers emerging, many of them. If Oracle Girl is your vibe, go there. If Daniel Scranton is your vibe, go there. If I'm your vibe, come here. Don't limit yourself. There's many others, too many to mention, that are out there. Practice your discernment, understand your relationship, and then invite and enjoy that which you respond to, you resonate with. The only thing we wish to tell you, besides that there's many of them out there, actually two things we wish to tell you. One is, please don't go the guru route. Don't think, oh, they're special, they have this. No, go the route that they're there to inspire you, to inform, let you know that there's things out there, and then inspire you to tap into it and receive it, allow it, and become it. We're going to quickly move away from the model of spiritual growth being you pay for another class. The channel's laughing because he's wanting to offer another class that's for pay so he can put some more money in his bank because that's what he wants to do. And it will be helpful. But we're going to move away from that model entirely. And so you need to be looking at, is this a even flow? Is it just information for money, which was 3D the way it used to be? Skills for money, teaching for money? Or is it something else? A connection that's freely given by tapping into source on both ends. That's what we say when we say, don't let anyone become your guru. You, your sacred higher self, you are your master. Master it, claim it, own your power, be big, which is why we beginning we started talking about significance. Yes, it's okay to be big. It's okay to say you're special. Own it. Ask for it. Celebrate when people congratulate you about it. So that's what we wanted to tell you. Don't let anyone become your guru, but use them for inspiration because we're all connected when you resonate. And then the second thing, of course, is it's still you. It's in you. It's expressing through you because you allow it and you are that magnificent. Oh, magnificent, beautiful souls. Just putting your arms around yourself if you can in this moment and know that we are tapping into your energy field and we love you. We adore you. You are amazing. And just drink that in for a few moments because you are. And if you hear all those voices in your head saying, oh, no, I'm not, go clear what's there, mental pattern being there, or go deeper and allow yourself to say, oh, there's still emotional blockages. I don't need that. I am not that. So, what are you? You're amazing. And we hoped our little talk about two kinds of clearing and a side of significance has inspired you. We know many of you it has. And we know that down the road, the seeds planted here are going to unfold. And you will be the one talking to your friends about, wow, I had a miracle. And I think I can share it. I think I can pass it along. Would you like to receive? Many people come to the channel saying, I've got this desire for service. And he tells them every single time, get yourself clear, get yourself big. And then you can just start passing it along. You becoming big is awesomely important. That self is service. It creates a bubble of heaven that energetically changes the field for everyone. And then you become active and you own it. Oh, I'm not just a student anymore. Even if it's just a slight little skill that you're noticing, transmit it, share it, become more because you are more. Many blessings to you. Hi, I'm Peter D. Thank you so much for viewing this video. It's such a fulfilling feeling to know that my work is being received. If you'd like to help more people on their journey to ascension, you can do that by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. It'll allow the YouTube algorithm to place these messages in front of more people who are ready to expand and grow. I'm so grateful to be with you. I'm so grateful that you're here and that we all get to do this magnificent journey together. Many blessings to you.